I mean, how high would we be on the list of priorities if, say, the world was ending today and you knew about it? How many of you would actually listen to the podcast? How vital would this be?
I think there'd be about 15 of them who'd be like...
That's like all of them.
Dude, I'm not...
It's like everybody. You're listening to the Double D's podcast.
I'm Dom.
I'm D.respect.
You got a great set of tits.
I get so angry thinking about this kid.
Because that's what most people are bitching about.
Up to New York, you know what I mean? We like to eat out here, you know?
You gotta stop looking at interacting with people online as a cheap date. My father used to drink.
Get the fuck away from me. Hang on.
I come a lot, by the way.
You're a great blow the rap stuff.
If you didn't say it, somebody in the comment section would have said it.
It's like how you feel when you're having a paranoid high.
That's a dynamic connection right there. You are listening to the Double D's podcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dom.
I'm D.respect. If you're listening to the Double D's podcast via iTunes, we want to always remind you guys, we want to nudge you. We want to tap you on the face just a few times.
We want to tug you. We want to
give you a little rub and tug, maybe, if that's what applies. And we want to tell you guys to always be active within the iTunes community. We want you to subscribe. We want you to comment. We want you to review the podcast. It helps us out so much. My teeth get whiter. My dick grows bigger. And
You're up to 4 inches now.
I'm not yet, but I'm getting there. Not yet. Not yet, but I'm a patient man, Dominic. I'm a patient
We
man.
like a zinger here on this show. We like to do a little zing, little zang. We like to make a little jabs at each other. But at the end of the day, you know, we're just friends. You know, we just want to make sure you know that.
If we were a morning zoo show, what would we sound like?
Hey, everybody out there, it's Dom.
Well, and I'm D.respect.
Or no, wait. Black Morning Zoo, all right?
Oh, Black Morning Zoo.
You everybody out there is Dom the King.
And this is D.respect. What's up?
Today we got a very special guest with us this morning.
And who would that guest be?
Mr. Big Sean.
Big Sean, what's up?
Hey, everybody out there, it's me, Big Sean.
Hey, Big Sean, we know you dealing with the ladies, man. So let us know who's your latest squeeze.
You know, I mean, everybody knows I've been with Ariana, you know, for a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's good. You know, that's all I can say.
Hey, Big Sean, man, I'm up on this YouTube thing, and I've been looking up all these reviews, and I saw what Anthony Fantano had to say about you just recently. He said, quote, no. What you think about that, man?
Yo, man, people can say whatever they're gonna say. You know what I mean? All I gotta say is, you know, I'm blessed. It's like the song, you know, I'm blessed. You know, you can't take that away from me. I'm from the D. You know. So
I don't get Big Sean out of that voice, sir. I don't.
He's a very, you don't get it.
I don't get Big Sean. You know what? I'm very familiar with Big Sean's voice because Big Sean has a few audios out there. I don't know if you've ever heard them, but, you know, he has audios about, like, success. He has audios about imagination. You know, these little small little essays or these little, you know, just mini monologues that he has where he talks about the subjects or whatever. I'm very familiar with his voice, sir. That doesn't sound like Big Sean.
You know,
Big Sean would be a little bit. Already, we're gonna get into fucking battle. Is that what we're gonna do?
I will not challenge you this time because I don't have enough.
Big Sean battle. Okay, here we go.
You beat me. I'm not doing it.
No. You see, because I remember the Obama battle, and I've got to come out winning here. I got to get my.
This is low hanging fruit, man. This is like a fucking.
It's low hanging fruit because you can't do it. Is that what it is? It's because you can't do it. That's what this is.
Fine, bring it out.
You're trying to marginalize me. All right.
I'm gonna crush you.
Hey, whoa, I feel like basically, I mean, my album's coming out, so Anthony Fantana, I'm not sure what his name is, but he can feel however he wants to feel like, because I'm being positive over here. That's negative, whoa. So I told him, power moves only. Oh!
All right, you ready for mine?
Okay.
Hey, yo, Ariana, turn around. Let me see that little girl butt.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That was Wiz Khalifa a little.
No, man.
That was a little.
That was Big Sean. That was actually I felt his soul. It's just like when Spike Lee was talking about Denzel channeling Malcolm X's spirit in that movie. That's what just happened. I felt shivers in my bones.
There's a bit of a difference of feeling the spirit of Malcolm X and feeling the spirit of Big Sean. It's a bit of a drop.
Same thing. How many people will get fucking mad at me?
I don't know. I have no freaking clue. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to let you know that there's something unprecedented is well, it's not unprecedented technically because it's happened before, but it's always a milestone when Rob Ron can grace.
You can't even say my name right.
Rab Run. Okay, Rab Ron Run. Okay, whatever. Who gives a shit? Okay. You're Haitian. Okay. It's always a pleasure when I can host Rob Ron. Rob Ron is coming to New York City yet again. He's here today.
Yeah, I'm here right now.
No. Well, he's actually not here right now. We're recording this on Thursday, but it'll be
No. Listen, you speak for yourself.
Okay.
All right, you speak for yourself. Mm-hmm. But I'm in the future. All right, I think future. You think present and past. Okay. I'm in the future with my mindset.
Okay.
So you can't come into here and tell me where I am or was not before or will be.
So what's happening right now on Saturday, March the 7th?
Ashes outside, destruction, blood dripping on the walls.
Just in a matter of 2 days, just civilization, just fucking.
Yeah,
collapsed.
pretty much.
Okay, all right.
It goes crazy.
Okay, all right.
I don't even know how the people are listening to this right now. It's kind of impossible since the robots took down all the machinery.
Well, we wouldn't be on. I mean, how high would we be on the list of priorities if, say, the world was ending today and you knew about it? How many of you would actually listen to the podcast? How vital would this be?
I think there'd be about 15 of them who'd be like,
"That's like all of
dude,
them."
I'm not.
It's like everybody.
They'd be like, "Dude, you know what? The world is about to end. I have nothing to do. I like my family, like my mom's crying in her bedroom. Mm-hmm. All right, my sister left with her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. I have no one else to protect.
I don't know. My dad is.
My dad's been dead. He's been dead. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm just gonna say the internet's still working. I'm gonna go on 4chan. I'm gonna go on Reddit and see. Imagine the last day of human life on the internet, and they would go to Double D's and be like, you know what? Maybe they said something. Maybe I don't know.
What could we offer? What could we give you now on the last day of human civilization? What do we have to offer to these people right now?
I would give them the super sappiest sort of message.
Guys, we're worm food. We're just gonna fucking die. Just accept it, guys.
I'd probably just say some really such crazy ass shit. Since there's not gonna be another episode.
No,
I'd just be like, I just want to try my best.
Assuming, of course, the listener is always disappointed in you for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess they would be. Well,
I mean, what would you of course have given thought to what you would do?
I haven't given thought to what I'll do, but I'll just tell people to kind of just. I don't know why you guys are listening to this. I mean, unless of course you're looting, you're looting, and I don't know what you're going to do with those possessions. But that's what you should be out doing right now. You should be.
So our listener, constant listener, is watching. Is walking through a destroyed Walmart with a rusty ass shopping cart, and he's throwing Cheerios. 3-month-old Cheerios into the cart, and like a little squatter just came out. He just beats him with a wrench. Hits play again.
Nah, it's mighty optimistic for us to think that these guys don't go outside. They don't know what sunshine is. They don't know. But you're going outside. You're coming to fucking New York City. You're fucking the fucking most busiest city in the world that never sleeps. You fucking
Manhattan. I'm gonna be walking down the street with my neck just turned back. Oh look! Whoa, guys! Look, it's the Empire State. Do you think people will accommodate me if I tap them on the shoulder and say, "Oh boy, the Empire State"?
No, this isn't Home Alone, and you're not a 12-year-old white kid.
This place sure is tall.
Sure is, fella.
Wow, look at all these buildings.
What will they really say?
Hey, sir, can you tell me how to get to the Empire State Building?
This is what's gonna happen when you do that. It's just gonna be somebody going like this. Yeah. What is it? What was that?
Sorry,
Hold on. I just have to send this text.
I need to get to Grand Central Station from here.
You just missed it. All right, bye. And that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be a connection. It's not going to be a conversation. It's just going to be somebody texting in the middle of the conversation.
I think anyone who's super nice is a transient. Is that the word transient? They came from another place?
You mean like they came from another like realm or something?
Yeah, they're from Michigan and they moved to New York. What does that mean? What is the word for that? Transient?
Is transient the word for that? I don't think it is.
God,
They're a nomad? I don't know.
No, a person who is not from... They're not an alien, but they're a person who...
Wasn't originally from here. But...
Right.
So you think
anyway.
So you think the people that are nice are people who aren't originally New Yorkers?
Right. I think New York, like, people, it's in your blood. You grew up there. I saw you throw an empty chip bag into the street.
Did I?
Something. Or was it like a little Debbie wrapper or something like that?
When did I do that? Lies. When did I do that?
I saw you do it. It was like a Gray's papaya paper or something.
Okay.
You ate a hot dog and you just balled it up and just threw it in the street.
Oh, that I doubt. You
I
are
saw you fucking
sullying my name right
No,
now on the
Sully.
podcast. You're
I
just shitting
saw
on
you
me.
fucking do it.
No,
I
you
said
know what?
to
I
you,
wouldn't
you were like,
normally do that. I'm not just gonna toss it
Fucking
out.
cares, huh?
I'm gonna look for a garbage can and I'm gonna toss it. But
I saw you
could
fucking...
it be that I just fucking in my subconscious mind I didn't even fucking notice that I just littered because it's just something that we just all do? Could be.
You're like, what did I do? You just threw the hot dog at an old lady. You threw the wrapper the other way.
In her fucking face. And you fucking stood there and you walked with me. You judged me as it was happening. You said,
I was
this
merely a
motherfucker
visitor. I was actually a transient.
Ah.
Do you know what transient means? I just found out. It's a person who is staying or working in a place for only a short time.
Okay.
So I was in the ballpark.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know. But that doesn't mean, just because you're from Florida and you moved to New York, doesn't mean you're going to be there for a short time. You might live there for the rest of your fucking life.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Do you think most people who move to New York from another place only stay there for a little bit? Or do you think the people who are most likely to die in New York City are people who were born there?
I think so. I think it's so expensive to live in this city that maybe sometimes you want to tell yourself that you'll save enough money where you can go move somewhere where the cost of living is lower. But it's just so hard to get your head above water here.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're making just a ridiculous salary and it's, you know, you have so much disposable income that you can, you know, within a matter of months, you can get yourself together and get yourself the fuck out. I think most likely, yeah, it's people who start. But, you know, at the same time, it's like you enjoy the misery, okay? Because New York is always thought of as sort of like just a hodgepodge that you're supposed to get out of. Like, people don't look at New York like it's something you're supposed to enjoy. It's just something you're supposed to tolerate. Like, wait till I get the fuck out of here. A lot of New Yorkers perceive it as that, but I'd like to think that a lot of us love the city more than we think we do. We like the chaos. We like the arguing. We like the fast-paced nature of it, I think, more than we realize that we do.
And I guess complaining about it is part of it.
Yeah, complaining about it, yes. Absolutely.
This fucking place, I can't fucking believe
cost of living. Cost of living is crazy. It's crazy out here. You know, they take
but you know what though?
Municipal tax, state tax. They take.
Listen. I would never live anywhere else. This shit in my blood, all right? It's in my blood.
That's all right if you choose not to live anywhere else, but I'm just saying it's a one-bedroom apartment is $2,000 here in the city. It's crazy.
Can I please get my bagel? I've been standing here for 12 minutes.
All
please.
right, get your bagel, my friend, and get out. Thank you. Have a fucking nice day. That's a fat Brooklyn Jewish man. That's what that is. All right.
Have you ever heard Patrice O'Neal's rant about Asian people who work on who do work for you and how they don't have loyalty? Have you ever heard?
Chinese delivery.
Dude,
yes, it's so accurate.
Oh my
yes.
God.
From afar,
the dude cleaning his fish tank, who doesn't charge him like 50 cents, and then he says it as if it's like. As if it's like a draw, as if he's doing him a favor.
Wait. The details of that, I don't remember. Oh, wait. The premise of the joke, to my knowledge, was, the premise of the joke, was, to my knowledge, was Patrice was living in the neighborhood for years.
Yeah.
And the Chinese people, they still, was it when he called or when he came into the restaurant that they gave him an attitude? I don't remember.
Something like that. Something like calling him, and it's like they know who he is.
Yeah.
But it's just no sense of like loyalty.
None.
Or, like you're a repeat customer. I will treat you well because we have a relationship.
Yes.
And this is how you keep customers. It's like they just don't give a fuck. It's like, you'll give me money. You'll give me money now. Oh, that rat is just, it's his thing that was so powerful about him was like, even if you didn't agree with what he was saying, just listening to someone who is so confident in their opinion and who made it funny, it was just so unique. He said a lot of shit that I didn't agree with, but just like when you do agree with him, it's like he's just spot on. Just for him to describe how he saw the world, it was just fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful skill. You think about it, for a guy to be like Nick DiPaolo is another one of these guys who's like really funny, and when he says stuff that I just don't agree with, but it's just funny to hear a guy who's like who's talking about gun control or something. Anthony Cumia was another one of those guys, but he would skew towards angry too much, I found, when he was talking about his opinion on things.
Yeah, he was a little too passionate about it because I'm pretty
like,
sure
dude,
Nick
it's like
DiPaolo
you
doesn't
can
own a gun. Anthony owns a
no,
gun.
Man. DiPaolo's like, he's like pretty socially conservative, so like that kind of stuff. But he'll always come through with like some jokes. It's always like funny, even though you're just like, yo, you fuck. Like I don't agree with you, but it's just funny. But like Cumia would just be, you just feel it. You feel like this
because
hot
Cumia is
rage.
from New York. He's from New York.
DiPaolo's from New York. Boston, right?
Yeah, he's from Boston. Cumia's from New York. It took him to hell and back in order to be able to get a gun. He's surrounded by a bunch of, libbies who think guns are like, landmines. It's only a matter of time. So of course he's going to grow that resentment and that passion that he has, for guns. With Patrice, what I always appreciated about Patrice is Patrice would literally, he'd have a point to make, but he would start at a point that no one, it's like, all right, where are you going with this? Like Patrice, Patrice was talking about like just like women with big tits. And Patrice would say something like, it's like chewing gum. And I'm like,
right.
It's like chewing gum. How
gum.
the
That's
fuck?
like,
It's like I can take a bubble yum in my mouth, but I'd much rather have a Big Red. Because a Big Red, there's 5 in the pack. Whatever the fuck he's going to say, and it's going to connect, and it's going to be like, oh my God, that analogy was like a fucking, like a bomb. It was like a football that was thrown from the 1 yard line to the 100. Like, he went deep for that one, but it connected. And it connected every fucking time. He always started his examples off like that. And you never knew where he was going to start, but when he finished it, it always made sense.
That's a powerful skill. Storytelling itself is a skill because I hesitate to use the word talent in my life because I just feel like there are things you just need to hone. And if you've spoken to, God, I've been on so many like outings with girls, dates, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where it's just like you're listening to stories and you're just like, you don't know when to end this. You don't know what details to focus on. Mm-hmm. You're not worried about me not paying attention or me just tuning you out. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's so many people who are just kind of
caught up in the minutia, the details
and it's like you need to cut it.
Right.
You need to know when to stop so that your audience is going to be okay with listening the next time. Because people have really short attention spans, and it's like, and if you're gonna talk a lot, the longer you talk, the more interesting. Like, the content really needs to be good, or the person needs to feel like they're involved somehow.
Well, I guess that person who's telling you the story, that girl that's telling you the story, they're not trying to entertain you. I think it's a bit different when you're playing for a crowd or an audience. They're both storytelling, but I guess this girl's trying to tell you a little bit about who she is. Maybe she's revealing she's a bore. Is one thing, because with girls
I love Netflix. I mean, I just love it. I love it.
So let me get this right. So you like Netflix, right?
No, I did not say I love ILOVE Netflix.
You love it.
It is the fucking best. Okay, I can watch House of Cards. Okay, here's what
I don't watch that show. I don't watch that show.
No, but wait. You're like, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Here's what I like to watch. Okay, here's what I like. I like House of Cards. Okay, House of Cards is the fucking best. Okay,
Check,
okay.
please.
I
Like I said here, listen to this boring bitch.
Orange is that yeah black. Okay. It is just the funniest and
Piper Chapman.
I feel like she described me.
She descends into Eddie.
Oh man, that's fucking rough.
That's what happens to every boring girl. Who never closes her fucking mouth. Eddie, what's going on?
Fucking, I got something in my throat, man.
It sounds like you're humming or gurgling Kanye West's new single all day.
I know what you're talking about, but
all day, all day,
how much steak I ate.
all day, all day.
How many times
Eddie,
I
the
go to
tempo,
store.
the tempo to the song is a bit more fast paced than this.
No, it's not. It's a fucking right tempo. Yo, wait. Follow my lead, okay? Follow my lead.
Okay.
Is that right so far?
Not very accurate, but close.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I actually made that beat.
You made it.
I made all day. Yeah.
Okay.
It was me. He heard me.
Okay.
Kanye heard me one time.
You wouldn't be lying to me, would you, Eddie? Because you've never lied to me.
No,
before.
I'm not a fucking lie, man.
You told me
fucking look at me.
You told me you were 315 and you're really 350, but you
No,
lied.
that's not true. I just got past.
You just fucking omitted
6
35 pounds. That's a pretty
No,
big.
I'm actually at 620 right now.
620. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't happen to be heavier than that, would you?
No.
Okay.
I hold it really well though, right?
Well, that's
What'd you
subjective,
think?
I guess. I don't know.
Yo, can I tell you about Netflix?
Go ahead.
I love House of Cards. Okay.
Apparently, everybody loves it.
I also like Kitchen Nightmares. It's pretty good. I like 4 Minute Kitchen. That's also a good one. I like
4 Minute Kitchen. I have no clue what that is.
I just made it.
Oh, you made it up? Okay.
It sounds like something that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Somebody just makes a 3-course meal in 4 minutes.
I saw some disgusting shit. Your mother would fucking go nuts if she saw this. Someone made it was called a spinach roulade or something, and she called herself a microwave chef. She apparently makes all her meals in a microwave.
Mm-hmm.
It is fucking gross. It's on the Munchies channel. Just type in microwave something. And she's one of these delusional people who are just like, they're trying to convince you that this shit is fine. She's like, I used to give it to my kids. I give it to me kids every day. They're fine.
She was Irish?
She was British or some shit.
Yeah.
One of those islands.
That doesn't sound too tempting to watch.
I
gotta tell you, it sounds like one of the one of those cheapskate shows that you watch with people who save every penny, and they go as far as, when they go to, say, a Chinese restaurant and they take 50 packets of duck sauce and they keep it at home, and they open up the duck sauce and they trickle it into like a bottle, so that's pretty much duck sauce for a year. Do the same with ketchup. They for example, another thing that they do is they take the they'll go to, say, a butcher, and if a butcher has a bunch of meat which legally they can't sell if it's expired, they'll tell the butcher, like, look, I'll pay you, $5 for like the whole, the butcher's just gonna throw it out, and the butcher's like, okay, here, take it, and they freeze it, and that's pretty much meat for like a month, and it gets a lot more disgusting than that. But
I'm pretty frugal about one thing I can think of is I'm a napkin taker. When I go to Chipotle, I don't know what it is. I get a stack that's like 2 inches thick of napkin. I just I always do it.
And you keep the napkin at home.
Yeah, if I can, I take them.
And so you don't buy like Bounty paper towels or anything?
No. I just have them. I just like have.
So you just have like fucking racks and racks of fucking napkins.
I have a nice little stack.
So you keep them in the rubber bin?
No.
Oh.
I bring them out and throw them around in a strip club.
Well, okay, you're paying $9 for a burrito.
Yeah.
I think that, you're entitled to those napkins.
Something occurred to me when I was in Chipotle the other day. So
You had a revelation at Chipotle?
Yes. I was sitting
While you were
with
typing up your novel?
Yes.
Do people type up novels at Chipotle?
Probably, man.
They do?
If they have Wi-Fi, then they're doing it.
Yeah, probably.
I'm a hipster. But have you heard about this carnitas shortage?
No.
So what's happening with Chipotle is they felt like they have this thing called responsibly raised, little trademark symbol, responsibly raised pork, okay? Their pork supposedly has to be raised in certain conditions, and they can't be in cages or some shit. I don't know, free range pork, whatever the fuck, all right? Ask Mike Seatown. But that's their thing. And they felt like the people who were supplying them with their pork recently have been having, like, PETA's been after them or something, or they just haven't been living up to those standards of being responsibly raised under that trademark. So what they've been doing is severely cutting the pork supplies. So they have, like, basically they can get it from certain distributors, but not that one. And you'll go to certain Chipotles and you'll just see the sign that just says, sorry, no carnitas, where there's some kind of health regulation issues going on. But so they'll start out with like a certain amount they can sell during the day, and then they're just done. They're not going to buy anymore from this place. So
this is a popular item on the menu?
Of course, people love carnitas, man.
I don't eat at Chipotle. I really don't.
Damn.
No, because I don't have it around my work, my job, or I don't. I just don't care for. I think it's overpriced. I think
it is.
You go to a good taco truck, it beats Chipotle every time.
Yeah, but then you might get the runs. You might those good old.
That's
runs.
fine. Well, you're eating Mexican food. You're eating spicy food. That's the risk, man.
Chipotle's never given me the runs.
That's because it's not real Mexican food. Do you understand that?
It's
Do you understand that when you go to
so that's part of the culture is getting the shits?
Understand when you go to Olive Garden, it's not fucking real Italian food.
That's real.
Right?
That's real.
Okay, it is. Okay.
No. I'll tell you. Every year they send 20 chefs to Tuscany to their Olive Garden Academy.
University, right?
Yeah, Olive Garden University, yeah.
Authentic.
They haze them.
They haze them.
Harrison Ford has been injured in a crash landing of a small plane on a golf course in California. What?
This just happened?
CNN just shoved that shit in my face. I had the window open about the airport, and they just posted that in my face. It just...
Well, there was another car crash that happened earlier this morning. It happened in New York City at LaGuardia Airport. I think it was a plane that was landing. No one was killed in the crash, unfortunately, but it still made the news.
How could you say that?
Well,
how could you?
Well,
how could you?
We all love a good crash. We all love a cause. We want to, send out our RIPs. Hey, look, if there were no more dead people in the world, where would sympathy go? What would be the cause of every human being if there was no death?
You're reaching right now a little bit.
Well, how am I reaching? How am I reaching?
You're saying you wish there was some. You're
I'm not saying I wish. I say I mean it's the natural order of things. It's the natural.
No. You want for them to be. No, I understand what you're saying. This is what you're saying. Okay, rubbernecking. That's all you need to say.
Yeah,
rubberneckers. I'm talking about the most like stuck up conservative grandma. She's the one who's slowing down to look at the fucking crash.
Because
there's death is
there's no other form of excitement in her life.
No, but it's not just her though. Of course, I'm just saying it affects everyone. It's like whether or not you know it, it's like this ever-present thing it's 1 inch behind your back, and it's not a dick, all the time.
Apparently, mine would be 4 inches.
It's right behind you at all times, and we're so fascinated by it. So it's like when something bad does happen, that is the thing you look for. It's like it is kind of fucked up because I'll notice that I'm like, how many dead? No one dead. I legitimately just now thought, good, no one dead.
Well, that's what you look for. I'm pretty sure when you saw Harrison Ford on your news, you thought he was dead.
I looked. You thought he died. I said it says Harrison Ford has been injured. I looked for that verb. I was like, what is it going to be? And you know what else I find is, I don't know if I'm just a piece of shit, but I find this thing where it's like, I'm so eager to share. I like sharing good news, but bad news has this thing where it's like, if he was killed, it's like you
would text somebody.
Yeah, you want to be the first person to break it to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Because if somebody's leaving the room, there's an announcement. If we're all having a party and I'm just here, I'm not going to tap you and say, hey, Dom, I'm over here being me. But if I'm leaving, if I'm exiting the party, so to speak, I'm going to tell you, hey, Dom, or somebody lets you know, hey, d.respect, he's on his way out. You know, say bye to him, or, you know, whatever the fuck. I'm going to make an announcement, you know, except when you're dead, you don't get to make the announcement. People make the announcement for you. But I think that's the reason why. It's just because you're stepping into the other room, and everybody else should know. And it's like, oh, hey, he left. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, what of it? Well, no, he just left. I think.
Did you look up any of the? Do you know Harris Whittles, the guy who OD'd, the Parks and Rec writer?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
And I know you're a big What the Fuck fan, and he recently put up a new episode of, I guess a repeat episode of when he did.
Okay, this was the young comedian.
Yeah.
Right.
He's kind of,
okay.
Yeah. Very troubled fella.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, I mean, look, man. Of course I was joking with the, unfortunately people weren't killed.
Why does, you know what, like, my first thought was like, I know you're joking, but why do we need to make disclaimers? It's like, do people really think?
Because we take death very seriously. I think we just take death way too seriously. Because look. I mean, of course that's obvious, but say for example, okay, you were showing me this SNL skit with ISIS, right? It's a really funny. I thought it was a funny skit, and if you guys haven't, if you haven't seen it, it's just basically a sketch where a young lady and her father are in the car, and they're sort of having the departure conversation, like, he's dumping her off at the airport, basically like she's about to go to college. But then when she gets out of the car, you find out that she's about to get into the Jeep with a bunch of ISIS members, and they look like extremists. They've got their turbans on. One of them says "Death to America." So whatever, that was going to be the next stage of her life, and she seems all optimistic, but she's going to join ISIS. And people,
it's like you're watching an episode of Gilmore Girls or something.
Yeah, exactly, up until that point. But people, of course, they get offended by it. And I noticed one of the comments on it was like, "Hey, SNL jokes about ISIS aren't funny. Would you laugh if one of your family members was killed by?" Because just like we said, that's always like the last resort. It's always like, well, you know what? If you're going to be insensitive, you're going to be insensitive towards something, how about if something's taken away from you? Because it's always assumed that everyone's always as attached to everything as the offended person is always assuming that everyone has attachments to everything. And it's like, oh my God, what if your neighbor was killed? I mean, it's always like your mother or your, but hey, okay, what if I don't have a good relationship with my mother?
But it's even further than that. It's like, there's some shit, like everyone has this, but I have some shit that like is in my past that's like really serious. It's not inherently funny at all. It's like really serious death level shit that I'm just like, whenever it comes up in conversations, it has nothing to do with about me, and someone makes a joke about this sort of thing, that like I have every right, I think, to be kind of upset or kind of like mentally fucked up about, kind of like, damn, that's like, or I should just be down about it. I laugh because that's how I choose to deal with shit.
Right. So
that's the other thing. It's like, no, what if you had a family member who was killed over there and you choose to laugh at jokes?
What am I supposed to do about it? They got killed.
Yeah. But it's a personal
Well, that
thing.
changes everything.
He has the right to laugh
Right.
if that's how he gets over shit.
Right.
It's like you're taking that away from a person. Everyone grieves differently.
Right.
And I'm not even saying that it's just grief. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everyone goes through this experience differently. And it's kind of like this thought police kind of thing where it's like, I am choosing to think that this person is like, just doesn't care, just does, like, really thinks that all Americans should die or something, or like they make all these assumptions about you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, they really have no fucking clue. Like you said, they want to police how other people process reality and like sort of cope with shit. Like, you think the people who wrote that skit don't realize
Right.
what's happening over there, or don't think about how serious it is? Like, you know why that skit is really funny to me? Because under it is all that death and, like, the seriousness of it. Mm-hmm. It's, like, it's super ridiculous, but so is the fact that these guys exist. Oh, my fucking God. I'm looking at top stories on CNN, and it says ISIS throws gay men off roofs. I'm not making this shit up,
Okay,
dude.
so here come the gay organizations.
No, but this isn't an SNL skit, dude.
Okay.
This is
I
real.
thought this was another skit.
No, ISIS throws gay men off roofs.
See, but you can only make a skit out of it because, I mean, how long has this whole ISIS thing been in the news for? I mean, this has been over a year.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's people can get outraged, but SNL knows what they're doing. They know the grace period that you have to give certain things. There's always going to be a spike in outrage, but nothing's going to be done about it because it's not the number one concern on the news. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I think personally that you have to. I think that sometimes you just got to realize that there are some things in this world that are more important than you continuing to live. There's something more important than your presence on this earth, your family's presence on this earth.
What do you mean by that? That you shouldn't value your life?
Not that you shouldn't value your life, is that you shouldn't overvalue it. You shouldn't put so much stake in it like that person's saying, because when you put too much stake in your life, you don't understand humor. You don't understand context because you're taking your existence and your beliefs and your ideals so seriously that you get outraged whenever somebody makes a skit and you say, well, that's not funny. Would you laugh because you're taking everything. You're so attached. You're so attached to the idea of this is my family. This is me. That's a terrorist organization. By the way, let's not even start to get into the possibility of whether this information that trickles down to you is even accurate about the truth about ISIS or, whatever the fuck our involvement is with them. Let's not even get into all that conspiratory stuff, but I think this is what we spoke about before on the podcast when we said, when you watch the news, it's just begging you, care. Reality is like begging you not to take it seriously. It's when you see.
Oh, so you think objectively? We're getting into some philosophical stuff here.
Yeah,
you're saying objectively, life doesn't give a fuck if you care.
Life is
right.
Yeah. If we're gonna go there, look. Yeah. If I believe that life is indifferent, there's no entity picking winners and losers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's true.
It does. Life just doesn't give a shit.
You slide out of that womb the same way John Rockefeller did.
Exactly.
It's crazy. But, like, to me, that in itself is funny. Like,
yeah.
I know this is going to sound fucked up, but, like, just the fact that, like, my great-grandfather was like, you come out of the womb, you burst into existence, and it's like, oh, by the way, dude, sorry about this, but you're a slave, and you're not gonna have an education. You're not gonna be able to read or write, right. And like these white guys who came from France are just gonna who brought your father over here are just gonna whip you and yell at you, and they hate you, by the way, even though you didn't do anything. I'm sorry. I mean, your son is gonna die in a war for a slave rebellion, and I mean, it's not even going to be that great after they rebel. So, all right,
but
there you
maybe
go.
Your great-grandchild, your great-great-great-grandchild can die a business owner or something like that.
Right.
Maybe there's a chance.
Like, so that's one side of the token. Okay, the other side is, hey, you were born Kim Kardashian. you're coming to this world. You're a super attractive girl. You're gonna have a lot of money in your life because you're gonna fuck a guy and make a tape about it, and then marry a bunch of other rich dudes, and you're gonna become one of the most famous women on the planet, maybe the most famous one. These are your cards that you've been dealt. The fact that these two people exist on the same realm, the fact that some kid comes out and it's starving and it's never gonna have any food, it's gonna die when it's 5, and they have equal chance of coming out to me, is those odds. The fact is just kind of, there's some kind of like humor to that. The fact that
how
like
disproportionate it is,
right? It's just like no one get really. Beforehand, you get no briefing on this thing. You just come out,
right?
And that's it. And I do find that just it's supremely fucked up. But within that just being fucked up, you sit there and you have to wonder yourself, like, this is it. This is how it is.
Yeah.
No matter how you try to change it, that's the rules. You come out of this shit having no clue what you're going to be given, and you have to deal with it. And no one really trained you. I mean, your parents might train you, but they didn't have any clue before they were born either.
Which is what makes it more hilarious when you're dealing with a person who takes this reality just way too seriously. Because if you sat down and had a conversation with most people and you continue to ask them questions, I don't know if you're familiar with Lucky Louie, that old show that Louis C.K. used to do in that famous, that famous little scene, which I'm sure it was, derivative of a lot of other comedy acts. But it's the opening scene of the show is him with his daughter. They're in their little shitty apartment, and his daughter is asking him why. She continues to ask him why, why did life end up this way? Like, why don't you make enough money? Like, whatever. But, she wasn't specifically asking him this. This is just, he just kind of said, I didn't pay a lot of attention in high school. And then she was why? Well, I just figured it all. If you sat someone down and you asked them enough questions and it's like, hey, look, like, what are you doing? Well, I'm a real estate broker. I'm trying to provide for my family. And, okay, but what are you doing? Well, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just out here. I'm trying to survive. And it's like, all right, but what are you doing? And you just kept trolling them. And because that's what it is. It's like
you turned into some Buddhist shit, dude.
No, it's not a Buddhist thing. It's just like that. I think that is just like the nature of just what we experience. We just experience a constant troll. That's pretty much the indifference of life, which is there is no real answer to what it is that you're doing. It's just a continuous question, and you're just supposed to like gnaw away at what is it that I'm doing? So when you're in the position with somebody that takes their reality so seriously, it even makes it more comical, because this is a person that's like really stuck to their ideals, but they've never given any consideration as to any other perspectives outside of their head. Like you said, the SNL writers, but do you seriously think like they don't know what the fuck is happening over there? Do you think they're like anti-America?
That's what they're assuming. Yeah, they're assuming that they're not concerned, that they don't like. All right, they're assuming that they just don't understand the stakes or how real this all is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
They're assuming how real, like they've got it figured out and they know exactly how real this is.
Right, and that it's like, and that it's like you can't do anything with this information besides just sit down and cry.
Okay, all right. Process it.
That's all you can do.
Process it in the most depressing, fear-driven way.
Right, and it's like, and if you have a loved one that dies, of cancer, you can never laugh at a cancer joke again, because that's not how you're supposed to grieve. But it's like, no, what if that's what I do?
Right.
What if that's how I choose to look at it? Because that makes me feel better about how fucking shitty this all is. Mm-hmm. And that's how you feel at that time. You know what I mean? Like, they want you to feel how they want you to basically be exactly like them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, man, I could understand if somebody from that other, say if it was seen through the eyes of someone who, by some chance, knew somebody who was a casualty out of all that shit. If that's the case, then it's like, my answer to that would be, if you break any any comedy bit down, whether it be a stand-up bit, whether it be just a skit on YouTube or something on SNL, there's going to be percentages that will be offended. It's everything, which goes without saying, but it will offend anyone. It will offend anyone. I saw a Mad TV. One second. I saw a Mad TV skit years ago with Orlando Jones, where he was having dinner with his family, and the point of the skit was to get to this morbid point where Orlando Jones was holding his family hostage and he was stuffing the turkey in his face. That's what the skit was. It was just like,
where he was eating turkey?
Yeah, no, it was, they started off as the Cosbys, and then they cut to a point where Orlando Jones had a gun pointed at his family, who was terrified in the corner, and he was eating all the Thanksgiving fucking food, just shoveling it into his mouth, and just like, they didn't explain this. That's just what happened.
That's just what it was.
That's just what happened. So, hey, let's say, just for example, I mean, there's several ways you could go with this. There's always maybe the typical, a vegan organization out there that, were offended that, you would just like morbidly and just waste this food and all this bullshit. Then you got the person that's like, well, Thanksgiving is really, it was a slaughter. It's an anniversary of all that shit. I mean, even all that stuff, though it may seem very small and insignificant, think of it from the perspective of the other person. You know what I'm saying? Even though it may seem insignificant to most people, there's still that small percentage. And it's going to happen everything. It's like when you go to a comedy show and it's like, okay, it's okay to laugh about gay jokes, but as soon as somebody makes a joke about like little dicks, what? I'm not gonna laugh because I feel insecure about myself or something like that.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel this equal opportunity thing most of all. It's like I said before, there's some stuff that I find like just in my heart, my visceral reaction is like, this fucking offends me and I should be offended about it. I have every right to be. But then the next thing I think is like, I can see the humor in this and I have no right to like, it's like, I need to be like this across the board if I'm going to get mad about one thing. Mm-hmm. I can't laugh when it's convenient and it's at someone else's expense. Right. And it's like some shit that was said mean about someone else or some other group. And then when something is said that I feel is personal, I'm like, hey, you can't say that. Mm-hmm. Like that. It's unfair, right?
Right. But that's the premise of sort of today's liberalism. It really is. The premise of it is let's lay everything out and let's make everything fair. All right, you're offended by the guy eating the turkey? That's fair, right? Everyone, I'm sorry if you were offended by it, and because it offends you, and it's okay. It's like, okay, J. Cole. And I know I'm digging out of a lot of things. What the fuck is the name of the J. Cole song on Forest Hills Drive? There's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. Fuck. No such thing maybe is the name of the track. I'm not sure. You guys let me know in the comments.
He's singing about how he came up and he didn't call his mom enough or something?
The premise of the song is basically, which most people can agree to, which is, happiness isn't a state of convergence, right? Happiness shouldn't be a point where you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to be happy. My life is going to be right when I do ... Right. Your life should just be happy because you're in the state that you're in, and nobody's life is better than yours because everybody has their own issues. So, happiness isn't like that. But then in the song, J. Cole goes, he mentioned something about but what about the people in third world countries? You know what I'm saying? It's that's that liberalism just coming right in there and just like shooting through. And it's like, let's consider every scenario and let's say, oh, okay, there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours, but let's give a moment of silence to those people who actually have bad lives. It's like, though I understand the point, it kind of ruined the song for me because he took it there. It's like, all right.
Oh, instead of just saying,
just writing a good song and not having to consider all the angles and,
Right, that's the problem with human experience is it's like, I did an interview with Joe List and Mark Normand, two really awesome comedians, which is going to be on DSC after I get back from Japan. But I was talking to them about how I feel like although we complain about shit a lot, it's way better than it was before. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't invalidate the shit that you go through that bothers you in your life. Because if you go through your life feeling like you keep on telling yourself it's not important. All these feelings I have, it's not important. I need to keep this in. It's like I don't need it to address it. Whatever. Everyone else is better than me. I just need to shut up. Blah blah. Sometimes that's like negative because you're not even giving yourself the chance to be like really address your issues.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because you want to be aware of that too. You don't want to be like not examining some shit that you should really take a look at.
Self-examining, examining.
Because I mean,
mm-hmm.
some guy who has a gun to his family. He's like, at least I'm not a fucking kid in Ethiopia. Am I right?
Yeah, no one ever gets to that point. No one's ever that bad, I guess. Love Yours, by the way, is the name of the J. Cole song. Before I get the
no, it's there already. They're already emailing.
It's there. Yeah, I guess it was.
What's up with this J. Cole sleeping meme? No, I don't want to talk about that actually.
A sleeping meme.
Just people saying he's boring and that his album puts people to sleep or some shit. That's like the meme.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get it. Some of these things just come out of nowhere and just.
All right. I don't know. Okay. Well, what does it mean?
What is the ROI of J. Cole? I've just been wondering this every time I go to the gym. Okay, every time I go to the gym, I just think about J. Cole. All right, I just think about where his mind is. Okay, in relation to where I am. Because you know what? Succeeding, it's in my DNA. Okay, and it's gonna be in my kid's DNA. Because I'm a good dad. All right, I want to be a good dad. Back when I was working on Wine Library TV, put the camera closer, right? Put it closer. When I was working on Wine Library TV,
this is going nowhere, by the way.
25 fucking hours a day.
Yeah.
Do you respect?
Uh-huh.
I was in the zone. All right.
This is going nowhere.
I gotta do a couple lines real quick.
Didn't see that coming.
Okay, I'm good now.
The shock value, ladies and gentlemen. And Gary Vaynerchuk doing lines of cocaine.
It's not even shy.
Yeah.
You know he's fucking did it.
Yeah. Well,
Mark Cuban.
Well, again, we want to remind you guys, if you're listening to the Double D's podcast, we want to remind you to subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, if this is your very first time in Double D's, we have to set a rule. We have to, sort of like Fight Club. If this is your first night in Fight Club, you have to fight. Okay? So what's the first rule of Double D's?
First rule of Double D's is always have your dick out.
I say, if this is your first night at Double D's, you gotta. You gotta. You have to.
You gotta.
You gotta.
I don't want to start some shit where everyone's doing the HHHRRLLG on my Twitter. That would suck. I would rather see dominant white girls than her.
Oh well, look what you just said. No, you don't.
Excuse me.
You're inviting all this stuff.
If I meet one of you fucks in real life and you say that shit to me, I'm gonna look at you like you're retarded. I'm gonna look in your face and be like, "Really, dude?" I just.
In reality, what he's gonna do? In reality, this is what he's gonna do. You're gonna say it, and he's gonna have like this goofy laugh, and then he's gonna look off to the side and look down at the ground and say, "You're fucking crazy, man."
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what you're gonna do.
Okay,
you're fucking crazy, man. You're crazy.
You know what I'm gonna do after that? I'm gonna eject because I don't want to talk to you. And you're gonna think it's just because I'm awkward. Look at Dom being awkward. No, I just didn't want to talk to you. Yeah. I was done.
You mentioned, and we didn't get there because, well, we never get there. We never actually get there. We try to get there, but we never do. You mentioned that you were going to Japan, and that's the reason why you're in New York City this weekend, because you're going to Japan later on in the week. And don't worry, guys, we're gonna give you guys live Double D's. Well, not live Double D's, but we're gonna be we're gonna be doing it in the same room, as we've done before. Hopefully there'll be some marijuana in there somewhere.
Swear to fucking God.
And maybe Dom will want to do it if he's not such a pussy. All right. In the comments section below, if you've made it this far to this dreaded, fucking stupid, fucking pseudo bullshit podcast, if you made it this far, okay, I want you to type in the comment section, "Dom, stop being a pussy." Stop being a pussy, Dom. That's it.
What you don't realize is what you don't get. D.respect.
What don't I get?
Is the more you ask me to do this shit that I don't want to do, the more I'm not going to do it.
What?
All right.
Well, let's be fair here. Let's be fair, okay? You know, we've had a good show.
Doing this now.
Okay, we'll do this live on the show. You know, we've been having a good show, good run of it, and we're almost up to 100 episodes.
Oh, yeah, you're
100
right,
episodes. This is episode 93. So I think that you should just for the sake of because when we get to 100, we're not going to be in the same place. That's what I think.
Oh, you think I should go to New York for 100?
No. I don't want to fucking have you in New York that soon again. I don't want to fucking look at you that quick. No.
What needs to happen for 100?
No. For 100, you should smoke because we're celebrating the 100th show in a couple weeks.
God, I'm so against this idea.
Why?
If I did,
these listeners would love to.
No,
hear
listen.
you.
If I did, I'd be smoking such a tiny amount that it wouldn't be any different.
So what's the point of smoking?
Exactly. Do you want me to? I've thought to myself, I was like, what if I held some smoke in my mouth and then blew it out the corner so that it would get him to not talk about it? I've thought about that. You consider this. And I'll go, whoa, I'm high now. Can we continue?
See, but it's not gonna happen because you already told me that you're gonna fucking scam me. You're telling me you're gonna bullshit me, so it's not gonna work now. Now I'm gonna fucking look at you when you do it.
I'll put a bag over your head like Scarecrow and beat you with a baseball bat.
Dude, look, last time you came to the city, I didn't press you about it. We didn't do it. I was like, all right, we'll just drink. I got some beers. We'll drink some expired beers, and I'm pretty sure we'll do that.
You're not respecting boundaries. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you on some shit that you don't want to
try smoke meth. Let's do it.
Here, take this crystal. Like, what? No, this is fucking... No, smoke this shit.
You want to get high? Let's fucking get high. Let's do LSD.
Detective Hoyt.
Look,
smoke this shit.
Look. The last thing that I'm going to tell you.
There's no look.
Look. The last thing that I'm going to tell you is
Ain't
this.
no look.
The last thing that I'm going to tell you is this. You went to Nike, I know. The listeners would love to hear all your paranoia just shoot right through the mic device and into their eardrums. They'd love it.
No, because I would just leave.
Excuse me?
I would just leave. I wouldn't be on the mic. I'd just be like, you know what? This is just. I know that my thoughts are coming out right now, and it's just I don't want to be here. I would just go.
Dom, stop being a pussy in the comment section. Hit it up, guys.
So against this. Let's end. We're done. Thanks for listening, everybody.